Let me welcome, first of all, Thirukkural and Bargale Vanakkam. Let me welcome all of you to this 23rd International Conference on Thirukkural in UNESCO for World Peace. And today's topic is how contemporary law and its related subjects like criminology, psychology are in tune with Thirukkural. And for this very, very interesting topic, which I believe is a unique one, is a very new topic that is being dealt with in our conference, we have a very distinguished and learned Dr. Louie Rajaiah Fernando, who is an advocate from the Madras HighCourt, Chennai, who will be addressing us and sharing his own views and also his in-depth study of how Thirukkural provide sound guidance in law. So we are very privileged and honored. And Dr. Louie, welcome.
Thank you.
We are very happy that you've accepted to deliver this talk. And I would like to introduce you before inviting you to deliver your talk. Dr. Louie is a highly qualified expertise and experience in law, English language, criminology, psychology, administration, religions, multifacetedly qualified towards achieving law, mentor of Doctor of Cosmic Law, and a number of other responsibilities like counselor, motivator, teacher, trainer, conciliator, being a victim defense lawyer in the Honorable Courts of Law in India. He's also a counseling advocate and legal practitioner of rare repertoire of subjects, being prone to psychology for dealing with civil, criminal, educational, constitutional, and international laws. He's been to many European and other countries for conducting his seminars, classes on different subjects associated with law and life. He's been widely interviewed by the press media. He has many credentials, heartfelt comments and words from very top people like the Archbishop of Canterbury, Correspondence Secretary from Lambeth Palace, London. He has been elevated very much by him. He is popularly known as an encyclopedia of knowledge. And he has translated Thirukkural. This is unique what he has done. He has followed the path of Thiruvallur. What he has done, he has translated Thirukkural as it is, that is a 4+3 words in 2 lines. And this has been uploaded by many highly reputed educationists, which translation called Thirukkural English Couplet. And this is one of his major achievements. And he also sees Thirukkural as a university. He sees Thirukkural as a university with different subjects and aptly put in 7 by 1330 words, certifying human beings as worthy lives. Wonderfully has this been finally achieved in English for people at large all over, aiming at peace of the world. Dr. Leonard Fernando, rector of St. Joseph Trichy, and Dr. Avai Nadarajan, former vice chancellor and Tamil prodigy, have commented greatly and graciously on this work through their foreword and prelude respectively. Valluvar are exclusive plurals for judges, advocates, or the professionals, even for people like drunkards as well. That is the greatness of plurals. A new Tamil phrase and a word were invented by Thiruvallur, not known anywhere else except in Greek language. Valluvar speaks of e-glance before science could find them, about conciliation, arbitration, mistake of law, which all came into existence recently. Everything that he could tell in 7 words or translated as they are. Valluvar has one exclusive chapter 38 for letting us know what is cosmic law. So with this introduction, I am very pleased to invite Dr. Stephen Louie to deliver his address on the topic I mentioned earlier. Dr. Stephen Louie, on to you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. உள்ளுவதெல்லாம் உயர்கொள்ளல் மற்றது தள்ளினும் தள்ளாமை. This is Qural 596. 1 minute, excuse me. Right. Whether possible or not, think lofty philosophy. Respected Professor Arumugam Parasuraman, chairman of this meet, honored members of the bar, Tamil scholars, Thirukkural lovers, parents, young pillars of tomorrow, and the esteemed and eminent personalities gathered all over the world. I'm really privileged, greatly honored, much delighted, and very happy to meet you all on this day at the 23rd International Online Conference on Thirukkural and UNESCO for World Peace to proclaim the peace of Thirukkural, a literary work brought out from Tamil Nadu, India. And greetings to you all from India. Greetings from India to all of the eminent personalities present here, revering the honored presence. Tamil scholar and poet Thiruvallur contributed both poetry and a major work on ethics to Tamil literary tradition. Thiruvallur lived well over 2000 years ago, but his legacy of philosophy, art, and law continues to impact the world one way or the other. Kudos to the organizers of this August program, especially Professor Dr. Arumugam Parasuraman, founder president of International Thirukkural Foundation, who is a pioneer social worker, especially for the differently abled, post his political career for unimaginable 13 consecutive years. I thank you all for being a vital part of this program. Before starting my slides, I should thank Professor Arumugam Parasuraman for his invitation extended to me to Mauritius in 2019 and using me among the legal fraternity in the city council hall at Port Louis, and then as the chief guest of the Thiruvallur's Day celebration amidst the acting president of Mauritius, His Excellency Vayabri, and Honorable Mahen Kumar Sarutan, Minister of Agro, Industry and Food Security, as the guest of honor and special guest respectively. It was nice meet with the Tamils in Mauritius. I could also share a few thoughts of Thiruvallur in a special way possible. I cannot leave remembering Dr. Parasuraman sponsoring my complete stay impeccably with the hotel, food, car, driver, etc. And above all, the humility that the 13-year consecutive education minister showed by visiting and taking me to dinner and a few other places of importance, driving himself and the such during my stay there. I feel and try to be like Dr. Arumugam in many aspects, being good-mannered, humble with great thoughts, like these aspects spoken of in Thirukkural. Thank you, sir. Each and every time I see the world seeming to lie before us like a land of dreams, which have neither joy nor peace, nor certitude, nor hope, nor peace. And we are here as in a docking plane where ignorant orbits clash at night. Here comes Thirukkural with 133 chapters and 1,330 Qurals, giving solid solution for our confusion. Let me start with a piece of advice from Thirukkural. Karka kasadara karpave kattabe, nirke adarku taha. Qural 391. Search to learn and act on learning. I used 4 syllables in each line. I'll explain about that later. Now, 4+3 word tool line Thirukkural translation. I'm going to use this translation. That's why I'm showing this one. I have to tell you something about this translation, which Dr. Armugham has already told. This is 4+3 word 2-line translation, which has been translated the same way as it has been done by Thirukkural in Tamil. Thirukkural has used one grammar called Kural Venba, the same way. Couplets definition gives one grammar, couplet grammar for English. I have used both grammars for all the Thirukkurals, 1,330 Kurals, and I have made this replica translation, which is as it is, because I have brought the spirit and heart of Thiruvallur to English translation, because nobody has attempted translating Thirukkural the same way as it has been written. I have divided all the 1,330 Kurals into 16 chapters or topics or aspects. These aspects can be put in 3 chapters. That is chapter number 96, 97, 98. And all these can be put in one chapter 96. And all these can be put into one verse or one choral or one couplet. That is couplet number 38-4. 373, 374. Now, the unique feature of Kurals is its usage of 4+3 words, that is 7 words, which I have explained. Now, let me come to this one. This particular translation is being kept in Pennsylvania University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia in USA, and they have thanked me for the contribution, and which is found in online. You can find that in when you are surfing. Now, this is the first meet with Dr. Parasuraman. Thereby, I'm able to do all these things, and I'm very happy that I met him, and I'm doing this because of this one. Now, we come to laws. And I just put the 8 headings for laws: common sense laws, witness laws, psychology in law, psycho-criminal aspect in law, law in spirit, natural law or cosmic law, fundamental laws and human rights laws or social service laws, ADR laws. These are the 8 aspects I'm going to deal with now. Now let's start with common sense laws. These are the laws based on common sense. Mistake of law and mistake of fact. You would have heard about mistake of law and mistake of fact. Mistake of law is inexcusable throughout world. In all the laws, mistake of law is inexcusable. Mistake of fact is excusable. That is what is found in section 76 to 79 in Indian Penal Code and in Indian Contract Act. It is not only there. You can find this in International Criminal Code also, ICC, where you can find this one in Article 2 of Article 32 ICC. It is very clearly given. Ignorantia legis non excuset. That means ignorance of law is no excuse for anyone. Even the animals could follow this one. I just to show you. So ignorance of law is inexcusable. Mistake of law is inexcusable. Mistake of fact is excusable, whereas mistake of law is inexcusable. Now, the Kural, 2000 years back, Thiruvallur was able to tell this one. Fault lies only in mistake of law. I will translate this way. Kural 618 or 618. Kural in 4 syllables. I have made it in 4 syllables. First line to 2 lines, 4 in the first line, 3 in the second line, 3 words in the second line, 4 words in the first line, with 4 syllables in English. I mean, each line has 4 in 4 syllables. Fault lies only in mistake of law. This is what Vallur says, in accordance with what the law says throughout the world. Now I show you this one. One Gesell's common sense in avoiding mistake of law. I show you this video. This small deer is using its own common sense. If it is not using it, it will get caught by a lion. Lions' ways of catching or hunting is known by this gazelles, and they're able to get rid of, the catching of the lion. You see this picture, this video. computer. Yes. You see this one. You see this video where we find this one, that the gazelle is able to get rid of the catch of the lion. It goes off. It let it go elsewhere, and it goes off. An example in UAE. UAE, what happens is all travelers are informed that they should know the law. If they don't know the law, they will get caught. This is happening. Air traveler are warned of dangers of carrying prescription drugs in the UAE. Air travelers are warned of receiving goods, things from unknown persons in the airport or anywhere in the premises. This is what is given there. But if anybody goes against it, what will happen is that is mistake of law. What happens is this happens, death sentence. Mistake of law leads to death in UAE. Mistake of fact. Mistake of fact is excusable. See, for example, a policeman arrests X instead of Y unknowingly. It is excusable. But mistake of law is not excusable. Mistake of fact is excusable. Now you can find in the diagram this one. Now, what happens among the people? Another video. This also shows something unique. A bus in flooded water video explains unknown aspect of law of nature getting lost finally for mistake of law. The people don't know what will happen if they cross the waters, flooded water. Say cross it. Finally, they get caught. They get lost. Finally, they are taken away by the water. So now we have to know one thing. Kural 391 says, search to learn and act on learning. This is what we have to do. Mistake of law. What is mistake of law? What is mistake of fact? We have to know about it. Valdivar has very clearly, very vividly has spoken about that prophetically 2000 years back. Now we come to the next one, law regarding witness. This is also spoken of in the Quran. Truth is established through three frowsy witnesses. Truth is established through three frowsy witnesses. Witness management throughout the world recommends three new witnesses, which Valdivar had known 2000 years back prophetically. So, psychology in law. Another beautiful Quran which attracted me a lot and which made me do this translation, that which I quoted at the beginning, whether possible or not, think lofty philosophy. Example in the life of Abraham Lincoln. What happened? Abraham Lincoln wanted to become the president of America. He was not able to become. Actually, he was a poor man and he could not do that. But everybody laughed at him, and he was mocked at. He was not able to succeed in his businesses also. He stood in the election of governor and he failed. But finally, he stood for the election of the President of America. He got one. He won the election. So he was able to think that he would become the President of America, and he won. This is what was said by Swami Vivekananda also. You will become what you think of. This is what is found in Proverbs 23:7. As he thinketh in his heart, so is he. So thinking is very important, and that philosophy will make you a man like. That is very important. Psychology and law. This is also a kind of law. You will become, this is a kind of cosmic law. You will become what you think of. This is a kind of law. And now we come to the attitude. Attitude is a settled way of thinking or feeling about something. In psycho-criminal aspect in law, psychology, we call it guilty mind or guilty attitude. In criminology, we call it criminal intent. In law, we call it mens rea. So for any criminal act, mens rea is important. Mens rea. Without mens rea, the court will not punish any person. So mens rea is important. Criminal intent is important. In criminology, we call it criminal intent. In psychology, we call it criminal mind or criminal attitude. So attitude is nothing but a kind of a set of feelings or thought. So criminal mind in psychology, criminology, criminal intent, and in law, mens rea is the root for any kind of offense. That's why Valluva says mens rea is root of stealing others' property. Mens rea is the root of stealing others' property, 282. Content and mind has no mens rea of fraud. This is what is given there. So mens rea is very important for any offense to be punished. Any court of law, any criminal court of law will find whether there is mens rea or not. If mens rea is there, that's an offense. So mens rea, Valluva has spoken of mens rea. And the law in spirit, diplomacy aiming good cause. I have used all quarrels with same syllables here. In our spirit, that is, I have put within quotes, within brackets, implied, which is implied. Diplomacy aiming good cause is also truth. When I'm explaining about the language used, I would explain. If I start explaining for, it will take a lot of time. For that time, I'm just skipping and I'm going to this one. So diplomacy aiming good cause is also truth. This is law in spirit. Law in spirit is something different from law in letters. Law in letters, law is written. It is to be followed, they say. But something else is there that is more than law in letters that we can see here. To explain mens rea and the law in spirit, I explain this way. There were two sages standing on the bank of a river. The river was flooded with water. There was a current of water. And a young lady comes and she asked one of the sages to take her on the back of the shoulder of the sage, one of the sages. One of the sages, and two sages said first that they should not take any woman. But one of the sages takes the woman on the shoulder and crosses the river and leaves her on the other bank. And both of them are going. Now, what happens is the sage who said that they should not take the woman, asked the next, another sage who took the woman and left her on the bank, asked her, brother, we should not take a woman. And you took the woman on the shoulder. How could it happen? How is it possible that you did it? The sage who took her on the shoulder said, yes, I have left her on the bank already, but you have taken that woman. How? You have been taking her. This is what is known as the spirit of law. Spirit law is that they should not. But the spirit of law is that they can for the purpose. But the person, the sage who took the woman, did not think about that. That is important. Thinking in heart. That's important. So natural law and cosmic law. Another one is natural law and cosmic law. Qural 300. I have been using quirals during my court cases being a lawyer. I'm using them as a teacher also. One of the quirals that I use in the Honorable Court is, Amidst all seen things, truth alone surpasses. How can we say about this one? Amidst all seen things, truth alone surpasses. 5 syllables I use. Amidst all seen things, truth alone surpasses. How can we say about this one? There is no law about this one. We are thinking about that. We think that truth alone surpasses. What type of law is it? If it is a law, if it were not a law, we cannot think about it and we cannot say that truth alone surpasses. Truth alone surpasses because we think about it. It's a cosmic law. Cosmic law is nothing but the law as created by God or nature or whatever it is. It has been created in such a way that it should lead us or leave us and direct us all such. So amidst all seen things, truth alone surpasses. That means whatever happens, whatever things are there, whatever is happening around us, nothing except truth will surpass, win over. This is what is known as cosmic law. Cosmic law, we can know it in 2 different ways: macrocosmic law and microcosmic law. Macro means macro, as created by God. Micro means as created by men. And it deals with society, it deals with the states, and deals with the human beings also. And macro, it's dealt by God. I say, truth alone surpasses. How? It is dealt by God. It is written. It is there. As gravitation is there, no? Gravitation is there. If you put something there in the air, it will fall down. It's a gravitation. It's law. Nobody has dictated. Nobody has asked the thing to come down. It has been created in such a way that it should come down if it is put up in the air. This is what is cosmic law. So cosmic law is being spoken by Thirukkural in a different way, in an in-depth way, in a profound way, in most of the Qurans, especially in chapter number 38. In chapter number 38, he is speaking about that in a fantastic way. Knowledge brings stable wealth, slothfulness, empty seat. 6 syllables I have used in all, 6 syllables or 7 syllables, something like that. But this way Valluvar is used. 4 words, 3 words. 4 words in the first line, 3 words in the second line. Folly brings loss, whereas knowledge brings victory. Revealed knowledge is better than bookish education. Expertise and wealth make doctor of cosmic law. Gain or deficiency be attained by cosmic law, not even economy, but cosmic law determines things. Destitutes become ascetics if cosmic law debilitates its desires. Enjoying goodness should teach facing life's adversaries. This goes like this. And a view on chapter 38. Let's see this chapter 38 for the understanding of the subject. This will explain what I mean by law during the presentation. Now, Valluvar speaks on judges, about judges, because as Dr. Parasuraman said, when he was explaining about myself, he said, this particular translation has given out how Valluvar has been speaking about judges and advocates. For judges alone, 30 Qurals are devoted, unlike for other professionals in Thirukkural. The maximum number of others is 10 Qurals. But here for judges, 30 Qurals are devoted. Why? As a prophet, he had known that judges be immune from criminal prosecution, unlike anyone else. A sample Quran on the immunity of judges is judge defends all, but justice defends judges. Quran number 547. Judge defends all. Everybody is being defended by judges, but justice defends judges. Why he says like this? Justice is nothing but it is justice. It's an abstract noun, which is being spoken of as if it were alive. Justice defends judges. Judges defends others. That's right. But justice, which is an abstract noun, which is not alive, which is something which is not visible, that will defend judges. That means it's a cosmic law. It's cosmic. Cosmically, it has been created. The world has been created. The nature has been created. Cosmic is nothing but the word cosmic is nothing but the Greek. terminology for universe. So universe has been created in such a way that it should do something justifically. Justice should be there. This particular justice will defend the judges. Why? Because judges are immune from all criminal prosecution. So nobody can judge the judges. Honorable judges cannot be judged by anybody else. So justice, if they commit a mistake, they will be judged by justice. If they are good judging people, defending people, they will be judged by justice. So judges are judged by justice. He says in 7 words this way: judge defends all, but justice defends judges. Tone of Quran. Here we find the psychology, cosmic law, victimology, criminology, everything is seen here. This can be spoken of for a day or so. So judge defends all, but justice defends. Justice defends justice. A view on Thirukkural English couplet is giving a lot of information about this one. Next, we come to the fundamental laws or human rights laws, social service laws. This is also one of the important subjects in Thirukkural. Fundamental laws are human rights laws and social service laws. Fundamental laws, when we speak about fundamental laws, we have to think about the fundamental duties also. We are always thinking about the fundamental rights, fundamental rights. We have fundamental rights. So many rights are there. Fundamental rights are there. We have to have fundamental duties also. Wallover speaks about that, and law also speaks about that one. Article 51A, J and H of Indian Constitution and Thirukkural both speak like this. I read out only one thing: to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity, so that the nation constantly rises to the higher levels of endeavor and achievement. This is what is spoken there. And to develop the scientific temper and the humanism and the spirit of inquiry and reform. This is also spoken of there in 51A, H. 51A, J and H speak all this. This is one of the few examples found in Article 51A Indian Constitution. This is also found in other laws. So Wallover also speaks about this one. When I come to this one, I want to tell you, UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This is found in the website of this was established in 1948, and you can find this in the website of United Nations. I would translated all these 30 articles into Indian Tamil, which is also available with the UN website. You can find there. And now what I have done here, the UDHR 1948 and Kurals in cartoons in English, which is not visible over here. But anyhow, as much as possible, I'm trying to do that. There are 30 articles. All these 30 articles, based on all these 30 articles only, we have all the laws in the states ratified. We have ratified most of the laws based on this. Human rights laws are based on these 30 articles. These 30 articles, small articles, you can find all the 30 articles. And the same way, you can find the Kurals from 96, 97, 98 chapters. 96, 10 Kurals, 97, 10 Kurals, 98, 10 Kurals. These 30 Kurals, you can come one by one. All 30 Kurals speak about these 30 articles. Very interesting to know about. All 30 articles were established in 1948. Well, these Kurals were written 2000 years back. Wallover has prophetically, because he has done a wonderful job. He was a person who has not even mentioned his name. He has not mentioned about his religion. He has not mentioned about any religion. He has not mentioned about any language. It is for the world. It is for the world. He has mentioned all such things. So he was so prophetic that there should something come. which would be 1948 UDHR. These UDHR has been made in such a way, these all 30 articles have been written in such a way that these quarrels also parallelly in tune with all this. These quarrels, all 96, 97, 98 chapter quarrels, that is 30 quarrels in 96, 97, 98, all are parallelly written like this one. These 30 articles, which are not visible. If you want, you can get it from me or from Dr. Parasuraman later on. So, but I have put it for your reference this way. Thirukkural chapter 96, we are all born free and equal. Kural 951 says about this one. Don't discriminate. Kural says 1952. The right to life. Kural says about this 1953. No slavery. Kural says 1954. No torture. Kural 1955. You have right to 1955. You have right to no matter where you go. Kural 956. We are all equal before law. Kural 1957. Your human rights are protected by a law. Kural 1958. No unfair detainments. Kural 959. The right to trial. Kural 960. You can see this also. We are always innocent till proven guilty. Kural 961. The right to privacy. Kural 962. Freedom to move. Kural 963. The right to seek a safe place to live. Kural 964. Right to nationality. Kural 965. Marriage and family. Kural speaks about this in 966. The right to your own things. Kural 967. Freedom of thought. 968. Freedom of expression. Kural 969. And then the right to democracy. Kural 971. Social security. 972. Workers' right. Kural 973. The right to play. 974. Food and shelter for all. 975. The right to education. Kural 976. Copyright. Kural speaks about this in 977. A fair and free world. 978. Responsibility. Kural 979. No one can take away your human rights. Now in 980. So these are the things spoken of. As I said, what is given in UDHR 1948 is already given prophetically by Thiruvallur in Thirukkural, which I have made in a very easy language. Thereby you will be able to understand that one. Then next one, eighth one, alternative dispute resolution laws, ADRS. These are very prevalent all over the world. Alternative dispute resolutions. We have conciliation, arbitration, negotiation, all such are there. Arbitration is prime in all such, because arbitrators are like the judges being appointed by the parties. Parties can appoint judges. Arbitrators are being prized, admired by people all over. The laws have been created, established, and formed for this particular ADRS. I hope you would understand about this ADRS all such, because nowadays this is prevalent elsewhere, everywhere. This is based on United Nations ancestral law. Ancestral law means it's a model law. It is nothing but United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. Based on this law, all the laws are ratified. Now we have model laws in so many places. I showed that one. In India, we have Arbitration Cancellation Act, Arbitration and Cancellation Act 1996. In England, the Arbitration Act 1996. The USA, Federal Arbitration Act 1925. In South Korea, Korean Arbitration Act North Korean Arbitration Law, Singapore Arbitration Act 2001, Australia International Arbitration Act 1974. So in all the places, I have given a few states, in all the countries we have the arbitration law. Arbitration laws are used now to lessen the burden of the courts. Civil laws, most of the civil cases can be settled through arbitration. So arbitration is like that. So Valluvar has spoken about this. Ullam இல்லாதவர் எய்தார் உலகத்து வள்ளியம் என்னும் செருக்கு. Valliyam is a new word used for arbitrator in Tamil. So Valliyam looks like, if you know Tamil, you know about this one. Valliyam looks like some abstract noun, but it's not so. It's a personal noun. Arbitrator, it speaks about arbitrator. Valliyam, உள்ளம் இல்லாதவர் எய்தார் உலகத்து வள்ளியம் என்னும் செருக்கு. When you translate this one, I have translated this way. For your information, I have already given away the book, this translated book, to most of you. Now we have made the revised version or revised edition 2022, wherein we have changed a little bit. This also has been changed. Mind instability makes none acclaimed global arbitrator. Mind instability makes none acclaimed global arbitrator. உள்ளம் இல்லாதவர் எய்தார் உலகத்து வள்ளியம். But this Valluvar is, Valluvam, that is Kural is speaking about arbitrators being admired by the people, and the arbitrators can become the judges of the parties without being appointed by the governments. That means, according to arbitration law, according to arbitration law, two parties can appoint. Parties means any individual or any society, association, anybody can appoint a particular person as an arbitrator. Particular person, any person. Now in 2021 in India, it has been changed, amended in such a way that the arbitration should be with 10 years of experience, whether he is an advocate or chartered accountant or engineer or something like that. And before 2021, there was no particular qualification for an arbitrator. So one qualification which is spoken of elsewhere in the law, even in Indian law and in Kural, that is ullam illadavar. That means he should be the mind, stable mind. He should be he should not have the wavering mind. He should be stable in mind. His mind should be stable. That person can become the acclaimed international arbitrator. That means he can become a person who can judge others. When you read through all the Kurals here in chapter number 60, you could find all this, and you could be able to understand the interpretation. My translation is also giving the interpretation. Kural 68 speaks about this. That's 598. Mind instability makes none acclaimed global arbitrator. So that is very important for the arbitration law, as I said, came very late. That is, we find this one. That's why I've given a few laws. That is 96, Indian Arbitration Cancellation Act 1996, Arbitration Act 1996 in England, Arbitration Federal Act in 1925, 2010 Korean Arbitration Act, and 2001 Arbitration Act in Singapore, Australia, 1974. But 2000 years back, he could find, he could prophetically say about arbitration. So arbitration would come in 1996 or 2010 or 1974 or something like that. It would come, and you will be guided by the arbitration laws, or you will be directed by the arbitration laws. You will use arbitration laws. All such were spoken of by Thirukkural. Thirukkural could speak a lot of things. That's why we are admiring him. We are praising him. We are just seeing him as a man with so much of knowledge, all such. And that's why I used to say, for interpreting him, for translating him, I just wanted to do a lot of courses in criminology, psychology, law, all such. And that is very important because for what of this, you could not understand most of the things. That's why you could, it's not only, obtaining degrees, we can learn a lot of things to understand these occurrence. Now, another one is also there. That is conciliation. Arbitration, I was speaking about arbitration. That is arbitration, where we have the judge called arbitrator. He is like judge, the same judge, and his judgment is known as award. This award in India and elsewhere in the world can be used as the civil court judgment. Cannot be appealed after 4 months. So that is very much, that's why he is telling like this. Mind instability makes none acclaim to global. But global arbitrator should be the man with the stable mind. Why? Because he is not the judge. Judges are being appointed by the governments. They are immune, but arbitrators not immune. Court may call them, and these people who are in dispute are appointing the arbitrators, and later they say that the arbitrator has given this judgment in favor of one of the parties. So the next party who is the judgment debtor will go to the court within 4 months' time, and he will file charges, or he will file some appeal, something like that. Within 4 months' time only possible. Otherwise, misconduct of arbitrator, if there were misconduct of arbitrator, they can go to court at any time. But that is not at all possible if once they go into the agreement and they have signed the document, they cannot go for appeal under misconduct of arbitrator. That's not possible. That's why, and moreover, judges are immune only because judges should not be attacked, or they should not be put into some type of hurt or something. They should not be hurt or something like that. That's why they are given the immunity. They are immune from all sort of criminal prosecution. They are having that privilege that they should be protected always. All such are there. But for arbitrators, that is not there. That is why Vallabha says mind instability is important. If they are very bold enough, they have the mind, stable mind, they can be the arbitrators. Another thing is also there, conciliator. This is also nowadays very prevalent in the world. Conciliator is the person who is conciliating two persons. The same way arbitration, like they will be, the conciliator will be there, but he is not acting as a judge. He can conciliate the two people, and he will make these two people come to conclusion, compromise, something like that, compromise. And then these two people, when they come for compromise, they will sign the document, and that will be witnessed by the conciliator. He is speaking about conciliator also. You would not have seen that quarrels that way. Now you can see that way also. This is found in Qural 1189 and 1190. Nayapita in Tamil. Nayapita. I have used these words and explain about these words in one of the government programs conducted by one of the departments, Agaramudali department, which has been put in the website, and they have put, compiled a book also. I have given all these words. Nayapita is a particular word which is used for conciliator. Conciliator, Nayapita. On known him, conciliator, I suffer salons. On known him, conciliator, I suffer salons. And another one, this is found in the last part of Thirukkural, that is love. Now the conciliation, you would get surprised to know the conciliation is now very prevalent among the family laws, family disputes. Whatever is using this particular word in the last chapter, that is called the family law. Love. That's three parts are there. Now, first part, what we call aram, wealth. Next one, this one, love. So in the last part, love, he speaks about this one. And another thing, Cancellators Award needs prizes. Here we see the spirit of law in family conciliation, which is the new the family conciliation, family law. In family law, Conciliators Award needs prize, salvos deserves abuses. In the family law, I have explained about this one in University of Madras. One of the papers I have released. If you want, you can get it from me. University of Madras Department of Legal Studies. The title was approved for my, and the paper was presented in the university. Having been approved by the Department of Christian Studies, Women Studies, and Satya Nilayam department, that is also affiliated to Madras University. I have given a topic which is also available in what we call Lawyers Club India. I have given the link, but how we find it, I don't know. But if you search for that, Lawyers Club India, arbitration and its family relation to family laws, which is my article. Only one article is available. That's my article. You can find there free of cost. Everything is free. You can go through arbitration and its relationship family laws. I will explain about all these things. Next one. Whatever I have spoken, natural law, which is the basis of all laws. International law, which is a model law. Common sense laws, which we have seen, it's based on the common sense. Law in spirit. Law in spirit is something more than law in letters. In other words, law in spirit is more than law in letters. Alternative dispute resolution laws, that is what is known as ADRS. ADRS are today very prevalent and welcome, and courts are encouraging those people, practitioners, ADR practitioners, alternative dispute resolution laws. These are the laws which I have spoken about. What do I mean by law? It's a state law, private international law. State law means I have spoken about IPC, all such. This is particular Indian law. Like that, we can find so many other laws in other countries. Private international law. Private international law is a particular law. International law will be there. And if somebody goes from one country, say, for example, somebody goes from India to some other country, so that person goes to the court for getting divorced. Two people are going, getting married in India, going to some other country, and becoming citizen of the particular country, going to the court, getting divorced, all such will be dealt through the private international law, because he's coming from India. India is India is the native of those people, so it will be dealt through international law, but it is not particularly international law. It is a private international law. For example, I explained about this one. Vanduvar has spoken about all these things. International law, I have spoken about international law. International law, one of the international law, human rights law is also international law. Alternative dispute resolution law, that is also international law, which is more or less based on, which is based on ancestral law. That is, all the countries have ratified their laws based on the alternative, that is ancestral law, formed by United Nations. And natural law. Natural law is everywhere the same. Common sense law, that is also same, whether law in letters or law in spirit. These are all the things. Civil law is also included in this. These are the laws which are spoken by Thirukkural. Thirukkural has spoken all these things for everybody. That's why I told you, he has not mentioned that his book, that is Quran, is for somebody. It is not an exclusive book. It is open to everybody. It can be climbed by anybody. That's why most of the people, most of the time, have climbed that book. The essence of Quran, I have put it this one: expertise and wealth make doctor of hospital. I have put that in this one. Rudyard Kipling, you would have heard about Rudyard Kipling. He says in the poem, if he ends the poem with this one, you will become man. You will become man, M-A-N. You will become man means you are already man. We are already men, no? He says, you will become man then. If you do all these things, all good things, he's speaking of all good things, ending that poem with, you will become a man. Man means master of all nations. Same way, if you start doing all these things, you will have wealth. This wealth, particular wealth, is nothing but, which is spoken of in chapter 3, 4, and 7. Continence, wisdom, and children. These are the three things spoken of in chapter 3, 4, and 7. Continence. Continence is being morally good. Wisdom, that we know, having children. These are the three important wealth apart from the economy. These are the three important wealth that will make you doctor of cosmic. Doctor is nothing but you will become like a man, MAN, master of all nation. Doctor is somebody who is well versed in nature, cosmic law. That's why you will become well versed in cosmic law once you have this continence, wisdom, and children. If you understand about continence, wisdom, and children, you will become master of law. So for your understanding, I have given all these things, and for your suggestions, you can give your suggestions and you can advise, and more importantly, your feedback. My email is there. You can contact Dr. Parasuraman for my email. Also, my website is also there. WhatsApp is there. You can contact me for that. Thank you. Thank you very much for your patience. Patient listening. Hello, doctor. Okay.
That was a nice presentation. I have two observations to make. When it comes to psychology of law, I often think about two Qurans. One is related to giving one's own confessional statement, and the other is the measurement of punishment. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
See, when it comes to punishment, whatever says, I mean, it's remarkable, really extraordinary. கடிதோச்சி மெல்ல எரிக நெடிதாக்கும் நீண்டாமை வேண்டுபவர். If you want to have long-lasting goodness, wellness, then you just give an impression as if you are going to give a very, very severe punishment. But when it comes to implementing that punishment, execution of that punishment, it should be milder. That is one Quran. Second one, தன்னெஞ்சு அறிவது பொய்யற்க பொய்த்தபின் தன்னெஞ்சே தன்னை சுடும். I used to think in the courts, if we display this Quran very prominently, it will help all the three parties. The party arguing the case, the lawyer from both sides, and also the judges. Look at the way it says, "Tannenju aruvadu poyyarka." If your conscience, if your nenjam knows what you are saying is truth, that's fine. But if you tell a lie, then your conscience itself will punish you. Now, if you display this one with the meaning, I think it will act as a psychological deterrent on all the parties involved and persuade them to tell the truth. These are the two observations I thought I should make in the context of your talk.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Stephen Louie, I keep a track of all the translations that appear from time to time in English and other languages. So I remember coming around in my list, there is Stephen Louie and Stephen Louie. I was wondering how come same person can, two different people can have the same name and ended up translating Thirukkural. And nice to see you in person, that you are that Stephen Louie.
Same Stephen Louie who came to Mauritius, no?
Okay. In your, I just have to, I just have, you see, a lot of people who, there is a doctor who claims that the Thirukkural is nothing but a book on neurology. There is a bank manager who says that the Thirukkural is a book on management. Yes. There was a Professor Venkatachalam who passed away recently. He was a psychologist. He said Thirukkural is a book on psychology. And so on and so forth. Now, I am seeing one person from a law perspective, because Thirukkural has information for everyone to take upon. I just want to make one comment. You know, I don't know whether you have shown your translation to others, whether you have received any critical comments. Did anyone criticize you for reading your ideas into the Quran? That's what I wanted to ask, because I just want to take one example. You used the word, you have chosen the word Valliyam innum serukku. The usual translation is generosity, generous. Vallal tanmai, kodai udaimai. This is usual porol, but you have taken it to mean as an arbitrator.
Yes.
Can you please explain that? Did anyone? Yeah.
This one I have already explained in my book, Valliyam. For that, it will take a lot of time. Valliyam is, it seems to be an abstract word, but it refers to arbitrator. It's not even arbitration. I will explain that in the book which you would have got from me when I came to Mauritius. I hope so.
But I didn't come to Mauritius.
So you said you met me somewhere.
No, I didn't meet you. I know that someone by name Stephen Louie has translated the book.
Oh, myself only. Okay.
There are more than 110 translations.
Okay.
In English alone.
Yes, but this is the same way. I mean, 4 plus 3 words. In 7 words, it has been translated. One of the places where I have given about this arbitration. Read it out from my book itself. Wavering mind makes none acclaimed international arbitrator. It is another form of translation. Valliyam looks as if it referred to a profession, but actually it refers to a professional called arbitrator instead of his profession arbitration. Ukam illadavar eida adayamatar ulagathu, that is ulagatil valliyam needi valanguvavar ennum அதாவது என்கின்ற செருக்கு means பெருமிதம். இப்பாடலில் வள்ளியம் என்னும் செருக்கு என்ற அச்சொல் பெருமிதம் என்ற நற்பொருளில் வந்துள்ளது. ஊக்கமுடையவர்களுக்கு கிடைக்க ஒரு நற்பயனாக சொல்லப்படுகிறது. இதையே 860 பார்க்கலாம் குறள்ல. வேளாண்மை என்னும் செருக்கு 613 வருது. நகலானாம் நன்னயம் என்னும் செருக்கு அப்படின்னு 860 வருது. ஆகிய பாடல்களில் அது நல்ல பொருளில் ஆளப்பட்டுள்ளது. உலகத்து வள்ளியம் என்னும் செருக்கு எய்தார் அப்படிங்கிறது இவ்வுலகத்தாருள் நீதி வழங்க வன்மை உடையே என்று தம்மை தாமே மதித்தலை பெறார். Arbitration is a divine function அப்படின்னு கோட் ஃப்ரம் த ஸ்பீச் ஆஃப் 11th December 2015 ICA இன்டர்நேஷனல் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ்ல ஆர்பிட்ரேஷன் இன் த ஏரா ஆஃப் குளோபலைசேஷன் அட் FICCI நியூ டெல்லி. அதுல சீஃப் ஜஸ்டிஸ் அந்த நேரத்தில் இருந்த சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட்டினுடைய ஜஸ்டிஸ் TS தாகூர் சொல்றாரு, ஆர்பிட்ரேட்டர்ஸ் ஆர் காட்ஸ் பீப்புள் அப்படின்னு 1 Corinthians 6:1-5 பைபிள்ல இருக்கு. இன்னும் மை paper on arbitration and its relation to family laws presented in the University of Madras 28-29 January 2016. I have elaborated on this. The Tamil word valliyam is the oldest but newly discovered word for English is arbitrator. இதை இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணனாக்கா நான் வந்து I will send you an email if you could find an email. I will send you the or we can meet one day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
What happened to Mr. Parasuraman? I hope he is all right. Yeah, there he comes.
Yes.
You are missing. Somebody has revived you.
Sir, hello, Dr. Ashraf. Dr. Ashraf, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. One second. Hello, Dr. Ashraf. Dr. Ashraf, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Ashraf. Hello, Dr. Ashraf.
Yeah, I can hear you. Your voice is breaking.
So it's a Zoom. Hello, Dr. Ashraf.
Yes.
Your voice is breaking.
Hello, Dr. Ashraf. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yes, I would be grateful. You know, I'm out in Delhi and I'll be taking my flight. So
Okay.
I would be grateful if you can conduct the proceedings from now onwards.
Okay.
And you make comments, you invite the speakers, and also you close it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be following as much as I can before my flight.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye.
Thank you, Dr. Parasuraman.
Does anyone have any comments to make? Any questions to the speaker? Anyone else? I can see a lot of people there. Anju, Vijay, Pandi. Any comments to make? I don't think so. If there is no other question, Mr. Stephen Louis, I have a small, since you have tried to translate the Quran in 7 metrical feet, sometimes even less.
Not
I
less,
remember.
7 metrical.
Yeah, pardon?
7. I mean,
7 words, not a metrical feet. Okay. Now I have come across a translation online. I have got that file. That's been there with me for more than 10 years. It doesn't show the authorship. A very good, very short, crisp translation of Quran and Naladiya. Similar, let me see how many words he has used. Let me see a couple. He has used 4 words in the first line, 3 in the second.
This is Kural's series, no? 4, 3, 7 words.
7 words, not
7
necessarily
words, but
rhyme.
the same way, you've used 7 words as Thirukkural has used. That is what is known as a replica translation, where I have used the same, what we call syllabic meter also. In English couplet, the first line should have certain syllables. The same syllables must be there, the same meter must be there in the second line also. I have adopted both.
Okay. So I just want, my question is, are you aware of this translation?
Which one?
The
Knowledge.
one I just mentioned, Naladiyar and Thirukkural put together.
I have not seen. I have not gone through.
Oh, okay. It is fine. I just wanted, because that file is there, very elaborate in the introduction and everything, but without the translator's name.
Oh.
Yeah. So I thought you might know, since you have tried to translate.
No, I have not known about that.
Anyone else? Any other questions? If there is no other question, let us end today's program. Thank you so much, Mr. Stephen Louie. Nice to.
One
Yeah,
Dr. Joseph Dunstan, he's the Vice Chancellor of Joseph's University. He's there. Dr. Joseph Dunstan. Hello. Is there Dr. Joseph Dunstan?
Do you want him to speak? Can you please unmute Mr. Joseph? Can you unmute?
He is one of the persons who has given a review for this book. So
Okay.
he's here.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Which year you translated this? Which was when was the year?
It took altogether 12 years to translate, and I published it in the year 2018. It was published by Palaniappa Brothers.
Okay.
Palaniappa Brothers in 2018, and I have revised it in 2022 now.
Okay, very good.
I mean, a few words have been amended and such.
Okay, it happens. Yeah. There is always the chance for improvement.
This is unique, and I have done it in my own way, using so many, things which I know about. From my own knowledge, I have translated it, and which has been applauded by so many people, so many education. What's this? The preface has been written by Abhay Natarajan, and Father Rector Leonard Fernando. He's the rector in St. Joseph's College, Trichy. So many other people, Lila College professors, so many other people have reviewed it. And one of the professors is Joseph Dunstan, who is here, but I don't know what happened to this one.
There are some messages in the chat box. One, may I know email ID? Somebody, yes. Anurata PhD.
Pardon?
Somebody is asking for my email ID. I'm just kidding.
Mine?
My email ID, someone has asked me.
Okay.
In the chat box, I'm just providing.
Okay.
Okay, I don't think Mr. Joseph is in a position to talk to us. No problem. Nice to see there are more than 110 translations in English. Nice to see one perspective. It's very interesting. I hope you know the latest translation to appear in Thirukkural 2022.
Yes.
That is from the US. He is an American citizen, but of Japanese origin. Thomas. Anyway, we are looking forward to him in one of these days, future days, for him to come and give a presentation. It's a direct translation from English, Tamil. It's not a secondary translation from any other language, from Japanese or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, if there are no other questions, no other comments, let us end this conversation. Thank you, Mr. Stephen, for your very interesting, different perspective from legal perspective, law point of view, looking at Thirukkural from law point of view. I will keep that in my mind, because I always try to keep track of people who look at Thirukkural in a different perspective. There is a doctor who looks at it in neurology. People will say that it's a book of management. People say that it's a book on psychology. There's so many. That is the wonder. That is the beauty of any classic. It yields itself to different interpretations over a period of time. So with this note, we come to an end of this session. Thank you for all the participants for having come to listen to this very important event. Thank you again for everyone. With this, I close this session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.